Welcome, everybody. My name is Michael, and today is actually a couple hours after I should have received my new vehicle. I wanted to make a fantastic video today, hoping that everything would be okay with the vehicle, everything would be okay with the experience. But as of last week, remember when I posted that video when Carvana lost their license to operate in Illinois to buy and sell? Well, neither can I sell my vehicle, nor can I purchase a vehicle, even though, technically I did. I signed all the paperwork and the vehicle was supposed to be dropped off today at 11, and now it's a couple hours later. And yesterday I received a message that everything's going to be delayed up on June 1st, so almost 2 weeks later. And I look on Reddit and there's a ton of people that were 2 weeks later delayed. And that's not the beginning of it. A lot of people are saying this is just going to be, it's going to get further delayed every single time. And some people get a phone call 30 minutes before arrival. Oops, it's delayed again. So I had to buy insurance for the vehicle, and I have to call them now, and I wasted some money over there because Carvana requested you to have insurance. Okay, that's fine. I understand. It's better to be insured, a couple bucks here and there, but you lose money because I was hoping to have my car today. So overall, it's not a lot of money, but some money was lost, and I have to cancel insurance, and I really don't think it's going to arrive on June 1st. If it is due to the fact that it's a license suspension, it's not going to come back so quickly. I think there's going to be more news about this, and I think that's the reason, despite Carvana representatives. Some will say yes, that's the reason. Some will say no. Some don't know, and it's weird because it's all over the place. I think only the higher up representatives, managers of the company know what's going on. And even if I did get the vehicle, even if I did get the Hyundai Genesis to arrive and everything was perfect with it and there was nothing wrong with it, and I did the 7-day money back, whatever, after it, and then I got my $500 referral, and I kept the car, and everything's great, fantastic, I love it. What would happen with the temporary tag? I remember at the first dealership I worked with, it's the same auto group, but the first dealership I worked with, there was a guy that kept coming to our lot, and he was a very interesting man, a little strange man because he would just constantly chat. He wasn't interested in purchasing a car, and I noticed that he was driving this old Porsche, and he had yellow temp tags that were expired, and I always asked him about it, like, when are you getting your actual plates? And he said he used to work in the industry and he's never seen this. He's very upset because he purchased this Porsche from a dealer. He never got the actual registration, and now the temp tags are expired and he doesn't know what to do. Blah, blah, blah. They kept delaying it, and I'm sure he probably got that resolved eventually, but it was 7, 8, 9 months, whatever, that he had it. Everything was expired after 6. So in certain states, it's expired after 30 days. In others, 90. In others, 120. Whatever it is. It doesn't matter because you should get registration on time. The reason Carvana got banned is because they had so many cases, thousands of cases, where people were not able to register their vehicle. Thus, they were driving illegally. Thus, they were getting tickets. And eventually, they'd have to go to court and they'd lose their license if they continued to drive it. So people would lose the ability to drive a pretty big investment that they have just purchased. And they lost the ability to make money because they wouldn't be able to get to work. Some people, if they're living rural and there's no public transportation and the car is the only thing they have, and they gave back their trade-in to Carvana because Carvana offered a exorbitant amount, and they decided, you know what, I'll do that. And then even if then the 7-day money back guarantee or later due to the issues, they were like, you know what, let's unwind this deal. Can I just get my car back? They couldn't find the car, blah, blah, blah. Carvana was purchasing vehicles for crazy amounts over, so people would excitedly sell their vehicle to them. They would purchase it too quickly. Sometimes there would be title issues. Sometimes there would be issues with the inspection of the vehicle. And then they'd sell it so quickly that sometimes the title would never get resolved, and eventually you have thousands of these complaints, and then you get banned, and that affects every single other person. And it's crazy because I'm sure they knew about this, and they still are accepting orders to this day, and it's all over the place. This is a giant disaster. So I'm going to keep it for now, just in case it actually does arrive on the 1st, but I think I'm going to cancel, most likely. If it doesn't arrive on the 1st, then 100% cancellation. The reason I went with Carvana is because I already test drove a vehicle similar to that same year. Everything without the sunroof, it's fine. In terms of the headroom, it's fine. In terms of the legroom. And for the price, it was $2,000 more expensive than what I saw in person, with more miles, but it evened out with my trade being worth $3,000 more than any dealership would give me, almost $3,000. So Now my trade is going to be very soon. I mean, if I traded it today, we'd be fine. But in probably the next 2 or 3 days, then it will be over the 1,000 miles. My trade won't be worth what it is anymore. So I have no idea how they're going to work this out. It is their fault. So even if it does arrive on the 1st, I don't know if they're going to honor the trade value. I mean, they should, because it's their fault. So they give you 1,000 miles. If you go over that, they usually lower it by a couple $100 or even 1,000 or whatnot. So a little concerned about everything. Overall, not a good experience. I didn't even receive proper information. It was just, your order's delayed. That's it. It was a text message, not even a phone call. Again, 24 hours before delivery. They could have notified me earlier. I was expecting that. I was expecting for it to get delayed, and I'm sure there's thousands of people in much worse situations where they've already accepted a vehicle. They can't get registration. I don't know if this is going to get resolved. There is a possibility that things will continue to get worse for this company. And what happens if they go bankrupt? That's it. So not to say that this doesn't happen at other normal dealerships as well. Again, this can happen at any dealership, but chances are much better when the car is there in person that you can avoid a lot of these problems. And if you vet the dealership that you go to, if you look by reviews, if you go to a reputable, large group, well, not like large like CarMax or Carvana, but large local group, then the fact is you might have a better chance of actually avoiding some of these problems. So this could have happened anywhere, but overall, not a great experience. The reason I went with them is I wasn't able to get approved for other cars without having ginormous down payments, $9,000, $10,000. Here, no down payment, unless I had a warranty, then it was a down payment of $900, which again, that's fine. That's fine. If my credit was better, I would never do this. I don't like the idea of Carvana, not seeing the vehicle in person. Even with the 7-day money-back guarantee, there's just too many steps. But it worked for so many people out there. It worked for people I knew in person. And now it's funny because a lot of people that come into our dealership that are saying, you know what, I'm not going to sell you my trade vehicle because that's going to Carvana. I can just say, well, actually, that's probably not going to happen because I am in a similar predicament. And even if you do get that value, your order is going to get delayed. And just like for purchasing a vehicle, even selling a vehicle, I don't know, they can't operate. And even if they were to go through with it, I guess it's illegal at that point. Just like what they're doing with selling cars, it's illegal without a title. Again, this can happen at any dealership, but it just makes it a lot easier if it's local. If I could, I'd go to CarMax, but CarMax doesn't even have the Hyundai Genesis that I want. I'm sure with them it'd be easier to get approval of the lower credit situation than at normal local dealerships, because I'm sure for vehicles under $15,000, I've done it before where I've applied and they gave me a relatively low down payment with a worse credit score. So again, I've seen a lot, and I'm sure CarMax would probably be the better option, but CarMax didn't offer as high of a value, and CarMax doesn't have the car, and it's still tricky because of the credit situation. So for right now, I'm just keeping my car. My back hurts, and I'm not comfortable in my vehicle, and we just have to avoid using it. So great experience. Anyways, thanks for watching. Have a great rest of your day, and let me know if you have ordered or sold with Carvana in your experience. Bye.